Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to take you inside of ActiveCampaign to show you exactly what ActiveCampaign can do, what it looks like from inside, and how to do some of the important things that you need to do as a freelance marketer.
Hi, I'm Nick Blanton, and I'm on a mission to help you quit your job and get your freedom back with freelance marketing. In my first year, I went from making $20 an hour to $100 per hour, and since then, I've made a lot more and worked a lot less, all while making my clients millions and gaining the skills to start my own successful business. If you're ready to do the same and get your freedom back, hit subscribe below.
Many years ago, I got my start using Infusionsoft for email marketing and automation. And today, if I was starting again, I wouldn't use Infusionsoft. ActiveCampaign has, was a competitor with it. And there were some times whenever I would use ActiveCampaign and sometimes when I would use Infusionsoft back then. But now for almost every business that I would work with, I would use ActiveCampaign if I could. So today I'm going to show you inside of it, and I think let's just go ahead and jump on in. Okay, so here we are inside of ActiveCampaign. Now the first thing you'll see when you log in is actually this dashboard, and the dashboard will show you how many contacts you have and some basic numbers, some recent activity, and things like that. On this left-hand side, you'll see a few different things to choose from in the menu: contacts, campaigns, automations. Now I'm not going to go over all of these, but first we'll just look into the contacts. If you look in the contacts, you'll normally see emails and phone numbers, things like that along here with name, but I took those off just to not show anybody's information. But this is basically where all of the information for your customers or your leads is stored. So it's basically just a database. So it contains all this information, and you can. It also contains tags, which are just ways to classify or categorize or remember things about what your client or what your lead or your customer actually did, right? So you can see this one. This one's engaged. That means they've been clicking or opening emails recently. This one means that they downloaded a PDF, right? And this one is an affiliate who they heard about us from. So this is all information about each one of these different people and what they did, so that all that's stored, and we can use that later to target specific people or people who did specific things or anything like that. All right. So the first question you might wonder is, like, how do people get in this database? Like, you can go and add people manually, but I never do. And for most businesses, they never will. So you may have a page or a funnel or something like this, and it has a form, right? So just about every website has at least one form, probably several. But if this one actually was built with ClickFunnels, and so I'll just show you how it works to set up and to integrate this with ActiveCampaign, so that once somebody opts into this, their information is automatically put into ActiveCampaign. Okay, so if you're inside ClickFunnels, even if you don't know anything about ClickFunnels and how to use it, I'll show you how to do this. It's fairly simple. So right here under this section, under account settings, there's the settings right here for integrations. And you just click add a new integration and choose ActiveCampaign. And as long as you have a login to the ActiveCampaign account, it's very simple. You just follow the directions and you'll create the integration there. Now, when you're inside of your funnel, you just click here in the actual page where that form is at, click edit page. And at the top of the page right here, you'll see integration. So we have our name and our email here, right? So under integrations, you'll see autoresponder integration. And I've chosen ActiveCampaign. That's the name of the one that I have. And then we have action is to add to a list with a tag, right? So we're adding one of those tags like we saw a minute ago, and we're putting them on the list. And the name of the list is Prosper Freelancer, and the tags is LM100K PDF. So that's letting them know that they downloaded this PDF right here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now, whenever somebody completes this form, their information is automatically going to be put into ActiveCampaign, and they'll be one of the people that are here. And if we sorted by date created, they'd be at the top if they just filled it out. Right. So what happens after they get? So they're filling out that form, and the promise that we're giving them is that you're going to get this ebook, right? So the next question is like, how do we get them the ebook that we sent them to? Well, you can put it on the thank you page, but with ActiveCampaign, you're going to want to also email it to them. That first email that you send to somebody whenever they opt in is like read at almost like 80%. So it's very good to send an email right away containing the document or the PDF or whatever they got, even if they opt in for a webinar, a link to open that or to watch the replay or things like that. So then also if you have some kind of offer that you want to give them, this is a very important email to offer them whatever you're trying to sell or whatever. Okay. So we do that with automations. Okay. So over here on the left on this menu, it says automations. And you can see there are lots of different automations here, a couple pages. And, you can use them for all different types of things. But I'm going to show you specifically the one that we're just talking about. Okay. So they have this tag, 100K PDF, right? So that's how this starts. So this is basically like a flow of things that ActiveCampaign is going to do after they get this tag. So they opt into the form, they get this tag, and that's starting all of these things, right? So we put this here just by, say, add a new trigger, and then we'll choose tag. There are all these different ways that we can start an automation, like if they subscribe to a list, they submit a specific form, whatever. But in this case, we just use when a tag is added, and we write in the name of that tag to make sure it matches what it says in the place where the form's at. Okay, so then I add them to the list, make sure they're on the right list, and then this next part, you just hit a plus to add anything new, and send an email would be what we do. And I've already got that email set up, so I'll just go into it. And what it is we're delivering the lead magnet. We're giving them the PDF that we promised when they opted in, right? So thanks for requesting a copy. You can download it here. And then we also invite them to the Facebook group, right? So I'm not selling anything here, but this link here, we can upload this document either inside ClickFunnels. There's a place where you can upload documents, or this one actually is hosted inside of WordPress. There are lots of ways you can do this, but anyways, you upload it somewhere, and then you put the link here, and then you just you can just highlight text like this, and then click the little link, and then paste your link here. So that's how you do that. Let's see, there are lots of things you can do here. I didn't do that much with this one. You can put a button, and you can format that button. You can say, download. Oh, this is the link. You can write here, download the ebook here. And then you could put in the link for it right there. You can make it a bigger font. You can make it way too big. You can do whatever you want with it. Change the font style, make it bold. You can make it as bad as you want, right? You can change the color of that, or you could change the color of the button like this. So anywhere you want, you could do pretty much anything with this, right? So I'm going to delete that because I'm happy with what I have already. But a few other things you can do. You can put social links, which is like this right here. You could add space in between things. So maybe like under my signature or above the signature, I have some space between the end of this text and here. So, it's not too close. You can space out the way you want. You can change the font size of all this. So instead of 12, this is actually, okay, that's 16, yeah. So you could make that bigger or smaller. You can change the font to make it look funny if you want. You could do anything you want, right? So you can also put images in, either on the side like this. and then, we could put in an image like that. But you can see that makes it look kind of funny. So if I was doing that, I would put in the text like right here, and then below that, I would make this come on a separate line below everything. So it'd go like this. And then you see how it's really tied on top of this. Let's say it was like that. You could use that spacer that we just looked at to add some space in between here, maybe a little less, something like that, right? And then maybe just delete that part. Okay, so you can link this to anything. So, this is how you work and manage inside of the email builder. And we'll look at this a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, this is basically how you set up your emails. You make sure you send what you're promising in the original form, and then anything else that you want to do there. All right, I'll make that a little smaller, and then we can save and exit. And now, because this automation set up, anytime anybody ever fills out that form, they're going to get this email. Okay, I've also got an app integrated here that says post a message to my Slack channel, and that just tells me anytime somebody opts in, I get a little notification, and I get to see that. So I don't really use it, but I have it set up and it just works. So there it goes. This is a timer. So we say, okay, right away, as soon as they opt in, I want them to be added to this list. I want to send them the email and post a message on my Slack. But then I want you to wait 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, normally I would take this off, but after 15 minutes, I want you to send them this nurture series, right? So this is another automation. So we're in one automation here, and when we get to here, I want them to send them to do all the things that are in this other automation here, right? So this one doesn't have a trigger because it's coming directly from that other automation. It doesn't need a trigger, right? So it's just sending them here. And what we do here is for several days, we send them one email per day. And we send an email here, which is just, in this case, it's the chapters or the different sections of the book. There are 7 sections, and so there's seven reasons. So there's 7 emails here, one with each reason. So I'm basically giving them the ebook over a series of emails, right? And so that helps if somebody didn't remember to read it, or maybe they downloaded it and didn't read it. They wanted to, but they got busy or whatever. Then they'll see this email and they can start reading it and go on from there, right? So that's what these emails do here. And there's quite a few of them. And then when we get to the end down here, it says, have they opened any campaign? If they have opened one of these emails in this series, then we say, okay, they're engaged. And if they haven't, they're not engaged, right? So that just tells me whether they're good to keep on the email list or not, right? So, there's lots of things that you could do. We can look at some of these sending options at any point in this email or any point in the series. We can, click this plus and we can put in a new email, send a text message, add a notification. We can put in a wait. It could be a day or 5 minutes or, a year, anything in between. We can run if and else statements, like if they have this tag, then do this with them. If they don't, do this. And honestly, a lot of this stuff, it's very complicated, or it's not that complicated, but you can make it complicated if you want to. But the vast majority of automations, you don't need to do all that. You just want it really simple like this. Like it starts, then you send an email, then you wait a day, send an email, wait a day. One thing that you may want is if it's like selling something, then a lot of times you'll want to add in a goal. And your goal would be, okay, they got the tag. That means that they bought what you're trying to sell. And what that means is that if they're on like email 3 and then they buy it, you're not sending them the other 6 emails afterwards or 20 emails afterwards that's trying to sell them what they already bought. All right, so we don't want to annoy people too much anyways, right? So, there's lots of things you can do here, but that's kind of a little intro into the automations, right? One other thing that I really like is Facebook custom audience. So audiences on Facebook are different groups that you can target, right? So let's say somebody's in this particular automation right here. I could put this custom audience right here, and it integrates with Facebook, and I can make a new audience or use an existing one. But what I'd say is I could just name it the same thing here, 7 reasons freelancing to 100K or whatever, nurture. So I could make a nurture audience, and when they come into this series, when a contact opts in and they get put into the series, they will get added to that Facebook custom audience, right? And then over these 7 days, they'll be in the audience. And then at the end of that time, I could say, take them out of that audience. And that way I could have different ads running to all the people that are on this audience. And as soon as they get through the series, it's going to take them out of that ad series, right? So that's a really cool way to kind of sync what you have going on in your emails with your ads, to kind of look like you're doing the same thing across both, even though it's completely automated in both cases. You're not having to go and make new ads for, what you're doing right now. It just looks like you're doing this everywhere to them, even though it's just an automation and set up once, right? So it's a really cool feature. You can also do that without this, but it just takes a little bit more understanding of Facebook ads and pixels and things like that, right? Okay, so after they go through all the automations and things like that, you still want to be able to send them emails ongoing, right? You might have like a newsletter that you send once a week that's new every week or something like that. And that's where this campaign section comes in, right? So under campaigns, you can create a new campaign, or a lot of times I'll just copy one that's already there. But it just works exactly like, let me copy one here to show you. It works exactly like the email builder that we saw in the automation. The only difference here is that instead of sending it just to people who are in the automation, we can set it up to send to anybody we want. So we have different lists here, and I can say, okay, I want to send it to the people that are on this list, but not on that list, or anything like that. Let's say I just want to send it to these people, right? And I can even make a segment out of these people. Maybe there's one group in it that I want to send to and one group that I don't want to send to out of here. Well, then I can create a segment and basically splice it up more, right? And then in this section is the design, and you can do all the things I was showing you earlier, where you put images in, change the text, change the font, write in whatever you want to say here, link anything that you want, all of that, right? And then right here, you put your subject and your pre-header text, which is what they see below the subject in their email app. And then finally, once you're happy with all the stuff here, you can send a test to yourself like this. And that way you can check it and make sure that the links all work and that everything's good. And then you go here to next. And you have 2 options here. You can either send now, or you can schedule an email for later. Let's say I want to schedule it for the last day of the month at 3 a.m. that would be, or I could do 3 p.m. like that. And I just turn this on, and now it says finish, which means, it's scheduled, right? You can see if I turn that schedule off, then it goes to send now. So that's how that works. You can either schedule something for now or for later, or you can send it now, right? So I'm not going to send this email. I'll just get out of here. But that is the basics of ActiveCampaign. So I hope this video has been helpful for you, and that you'll check out ActiveCampaign. I'll put a link below. If you want to get an account, you can get one for as little as $15 a month and just use it to test with if you want. I think you even get a 14-day free trial, I believe. But this is a fantastic software to use if you're just starting out, because as you saw just now, it's fairly simple to use, but also very powerful. Email marketing is one of the highest return on spend for any kind of marketing activity. So that's why it's so important for every business to build an email list and to use it. But unfortunately, many businesses do not use their email list, or they do not email nearly enough. So that's definitely an area that many businesses need help in. And just on ActiveCampaign alone, there are at least 100,000 businesses that use it. And I think it's quite a bit more now. And so that's 100,000 plus businesses that could be potential customers for you. All right. So if you're still new to freelancing, if you haven't downloaded my ebook, please check it out. I'll put that link below. And also, don't forget to comment below. Let me know what else you'd like to see in a video. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.